Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is our lecture number 16. Basically, this is the continuation of our lecture on finding the elasticity matrix for trigonal, tetragonal and hexagonal. In your previous lecture, you have started from the transformation matrix A, then you have found its eigenvalues, then matrix B, then you have diagonalized that matrix A with the help of matrix B. So basically our purpose is to find the elasticity matrix for these three continua. What we will do, we will apply the sequence of transformations on elasticity tensor C and will try to find the elasticity matrix. By finding the elasticity matrix, we mean that we have to calculate number of independent constants for that elasticity matrix. Now we will start by applying the matrix B. When you will apply the matrix B on your elasticity tensor C, then you will have complex components. Why they are complex? Because entries in matrix B are complex. That is why your components become complex. We will denote those components by gamma, this gamma I, J, K, L. And if you want to write the transformation law, then it means that your gamma I, J, K, L will be equal to B, Pi, B, Q, J, B, R, K and B, S, L and C, P, Q, R, S. So, and these B are the components of this matrix B. After applying this, after calculating all the components, you will have these gamma I, J, K, L, all the components, whatever they are. We are not going to find these. We are only writing that we have gamma I, J, K, L when we apply B on these components C, that these are transformed into these components after the transformation matrix B. Now it means that we have no gamma I, J, K, L. Now further we will apply this diagonal matrix, which is similar to our transformation matrix A. And we will see that how this diagonal matrix will transform our components gamma I, J, K, L. You can see that this is the transformation law for the components gamma I, J, K, L. These are gamma dash I, J, K, L equals to this right hand side, and these are the components of this diagonal matrix. So you can see that A11 is e power iota phi, A23 is e power minus iota phi and A33 is 1. All other are 0. Now here we have written that when you will apply this matrix, you will have this type of result. how can you have this type of result? We have written, suppose that there are new ones in PQRS, that one is appearing new one times, that is 0. There could be 0 1, 2 1, 3 1 and 4 1. That is gamma 1 2 2 2, gamma 1 1 2 2, gamma 1 1 3, gamma 1 1 1 1. Similarly, you are supposing that there are new 2's in this PQRS. Why we are supposing 1's and 2's? Because here we can see that A11 is this and A22 is this and A33 is 1. So there is no need to suppose A3, because its value is value of A33 is 1. So after applying this transformation matrix, we have this, that as we have new 1 times 1, so it means that A11 is this e power iota phi, and this is new 1 times, so it will be e power iota phi new 1. Similarly for e power minus iota phi new 2, this could be written as this. For example, you can see from here, suppose that we have gamma dash 1 2 1 2. This is any one component. To check this type of result, that how can we write this in general, this is any one component for understanding. Suppose gamma dash 1 2 1 2, it means that ijkl 1 2 1 2, I1 J2 K1 and L2. You will have from this AP1 AQ2 AR1 AS2 gamma PQRS. Then you can see that there is summation on PQR and S. So first we will open the summation on P. A11, these three AQ2 AR1 AS2, we have written this outside of this parenthesis. A11 gamma 1 QRS plus A21 gamma 2 PQRS plus A31 gamma 3 QRS. And we know that A21 is 0 and A31 is 0. So we are left with only A11. What is A11? A11 is e power iota phi. And with gamma 1 QRS and these three, gamma AQ2 AR1 AS2. Now we will open summation on Q. When we will open summation on Q, we will have gamma 1 to RS, gamma 1 to RS, and we are left with A R1 and AS2, and here will be only A22, because when we open the summation on Q, you can see that here would be A12 which is 0 and A22 which is e power minus iota phi, we have written here, and third term will be A32 which is also 0. So we are left with only term e power minus iota phi with gamma 1 to RS, and these are left as it is. So again we will open summation on R, it would be A11, again we have e power iota phi. Then we will open summation on S, we will have A22, again we have e power minus iota phi, and we have this gamma 1 to 1. Now here you can see that you can write e power iota phi whole power 2 and e power minus iota phi minus iota phi whole power 2. So here new 1 is 2 and power, and with the power of e power minus iota phi new 2 is also 2. New 1 is 2 here in this one example, and new 2 is 2. And you can also see that there are 2 1's here and there are 2 2's here, which is exactly the power of e power iota phi and e power minus iota phi. So it means that number of ones and number of twos, they matters, and we can write in general as e power out of I power new 1 e power minus out of I power new 2. That e power out of I is appearing new 1 times, and e power out of minus I is appearing new 2 times. And gamma ijkl, this is same 1 2 1 2, so it will be 1 2 gamma ijkl. No, if this is 1, then these are equal. If this is 1, then these are equal. This is only possibility. To equal these, we have to put this equal to 1, because from symmetry you can write if this is not equal to 1, all other components are equal to 0, so this could be 1 only. Now we will go for the particular continuum. We have 3 continuum: hexagonal, trigonal and tetragonal. For hexagonal we have phi 2 pi by 6, and is 6. Here we have written that how many 1 can be there, how many 2's can be there, and what would be the difference of these two. New 1 can be 0 times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times and 4 times. 2 can be 0 times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times and 4 times. And these are the difference: 0 minus 0, this is 1 minus 0, 0 and 0. And if new 2 is 2 and new 1 is 1, then it could be minus 2 or plus 2. This is the difference. Now the only possibility in which the components for this type of continuum is non-zero, which is possible only when this product is 0. When this product is 0, this could be equal to 1 for this case. Phi is 2 pi by 3, and if this is 0, then this could be equal to 0. We are looking for only non-zero components, and this is possible only when your new 1 minus new 2 equals to 0 for this case, for hexagonal case only. So it means that we have non-zero components when difference is 0. Difference 0 means that number of 1's and number of 2's are equal. So we have to write those components in which number of 2's and number of 1's are equal, like gamma 1 1 2 2, 2 2's and 2 1's, 1 2 1 2, 2 2's and 2 2, 1 2 3 3, 1 1 and 1 2. Here again there is 1 1 and there is 1 time 2, and here there is no 1 and no 2's. In all these components, number of 1's and number of 2's are equal. If you try to write any other component, then you will see that number of 1's and number of 2's will not be equal in those components. They all are equal to 0. This is for the case of hexagonal. Now it means that there would be 5 independent constants for hexagonal components. Now trigonal. For trigonal we have angle 2 pi by 3. So phi will be 2 pi by 3. Now we will have to see that when this will be equal to 0. One case is clear that this would be equal to 0 when difference is 0, which is here. Another thing is that when this would be equal to 0 when difference is plus minus 3. That when 3 3 will be cancelled out, 3 3 will be cancelled out with this 3, and we were left with only e power 2 pi, e power iota 2 pi, and you will open cos 2 pi plus iota sine 2 pi. Sine 2 pi will be 0 and cos 2 pi will be 1. So result will be equal to 1. So these 5 are from the previous for this case, and for this case we have this. This is telling that difference would be 3. Difference of number of 1s and number of 2s must be equal to 3, plus 3 or minus 3. So it means that there will be 3 1s and no 2s. So that component would be this 1 1 3. There will be 3 2s and no 1 3. So that component would be gamma 2 to 3. So here you can see the difference. Nu 1 is 3 and nu 2 is 0. So 3 minus 2 is 3 minus 0 is 3. Again 3 minus 0. And 3 nu 2s are 3 and nu 1 is 0. So difference is minus 3. So these are the independent components for this. Similarly for tetragonal. Tetragonal we have 2 pi by 4. So difference 0 or difference could be plus minus 4. Again we have 5 these from previous, and here gamma 1 1 1 and gamma 2 2 2. Nu 1s are 4 and nu 2s 0. 4 minus 0 plus 4. Nu 2s are 4 and nu 1 is 0. 0 minus 4 minus 4. So up to here we have written the components in the form of gamma, but our elasticity matrix is in the form of C's. So we have to go for those C's. Which are they? We know that hexagonal 5, trigonal 7 and tetragonal 7. We will discuss only one, and we will write one continuum and we will write other continuum as it is, and they will be left for you people. No, the transformation matrix is this B. Transformation matrix is this B. That when you will apply B, you will have gamma. We know that we have only this. You can say that revision of the previous, I think, 2 slides. We know that we have 7 independent components and they are coming from with the help of this gamma ijkl equals to this, and due to symmetry this will be equal to this. And again you can see that if this is not 0, these are 0, and we have non-zero gammas when we have this equal to 1, and when non-zeros are these 7. Now our C's will be in the linear combination of all these, or maybe they are equal to these, because these are non-zero, all other gammas are 0. So those C's will be equal to 0 which are in the linear combination of those gammas which are not here. It means that they are 0, because the gammas which are not here, they are 0. If C's are the linear combination of those gammas, then they would also be equal to 0. So we have following cases to find C's, to find matrix C. When all the indices are equal to 3, when any 3 indices are 3, and correct this case 3 and case 4, when any 2 indices are equal to, the error would be 3, and when any one index is 3, I have written here, and when there is no 3, all 3 indices are 3, 2 indices are 3, 1 index is 3, and there is no 3. And why we are taking the cases in which 3 is involved? Because our our transformation matrix is due to the axis 3 that we have taken x3 axis as symmetric axis. Now we can write C's as, and these are the components of matrix B. I did not change the notation, but keep in mind that here these are the components of matrix B. We have gamma when we apply the transformation on C, from C to gamma, and we can write, and you know that you can write, if T prime ij equals to A Pi E Qj T Pq, then you can write T Pq equals to AIP AQJ AJQ and Tij. In similar fashion we have written this. If you compare your transformation law with this, in transformation law you have dash on left side and undash on right side, and when you write dash on undash on right side and undash on right side, then you will have this. Here dash is treated as gamma and this is undash. So from that you have, if you have dash on left side, then you have API like in your previous slides, this one dash API. And here would be AIP. I told about this so many times. Okay, that when I will be at the as first and when P will be at first index. No, case 1, when all are 3, it means that 3 3 3 and we have 3 3 3 3 gamma 3 3 3, and we know that it will survive only when P is 3, Q is 3, R is 3 and S3, all other terms are 0. So C33 will be equal to C gamma 333. So as this is not 0, so C33 is down here. So case 2, when C3313, in which there are any 3 are 3, so we have taken this type C3313. On right hand side we have this A33, and this would be, we will open the summation on 3, we have A33, open the summation on Q, we have A3, then A33 and R will be left. When you will open the summation on R, you will have A11 gamma 3313 plus A12 gamma 3323 plus A13. A13 is 0, that is why we did not write those terms. Now this is again 0, and this term will be equal to 0 due to this, because gamma 3313 is 0. Let us check, it should not be here. Gamma 3313 trigonal, you can see that there is no gamma 3313, no 3s. You can also see that from here, that no gamma 3313. So this component will be equal to 0. So in this case, when your any three indices are 3, then those components will be equal to 0. This is case 2. No, this is case. No, case 3. When any two are 3, we have written 3 3. Again on right side 3 3, and you would be a 3 3 and a 3. They are 1 1. So we have AIP, AGQ, gamma, PQ 3 3. So P and Q are 1 or 2. Because otherwise they would be 0. Why they are 0? Because if this is, suppose you can open the summation on P and Q and check that why they are 0, because the components will be equal to 0. That is, you cannot change, you can't write I here. If let us suppose you have AI 3, open the summation AI3 gamma 3 Q3 No, your I would be either 1 or 2, because in this case we are saying that we have only 2 3s. You cannot take 3 indices as 3. So I and J would be other than 3. If they are other than 3, then here component will be either A13 or A23. They are 0 because the components of matrix B, you can see the components of matrix B, they are 0, and in that case the components will be 0. So PQ could be 1 or 2. No, if PQ is 1 1, if PQ is 1 1, and we know that gamma 1 1 3 3 0, so this term will also be equal to 0. No, PQ is 2 2, then again gamma 2 2 3 3 is 0, so that term will also be equal to 0. So we are left only with P not equal to Q. P1 and Q2, P2 and Q1, and we have seen that if they are 3, then they are 0 due to the transformation matrix, and if this is the case, then these are 0, the terms are 0 due to these components. This is the short way to write. You have open choice. You can open the summation on P and Q and find the components, but this is a short way. So AI1 AJ2 P1 Q2, here would be gamma 1 2 3 3 plus AI2 AJ1 gamma 2 1 3 3. So we can write here, taking the common, AI1 AJ2 plus AI2 AJ1. So I and J cannot be 3, so they could be 1 1 2 2 or 1 2 2 1. So in this case, if they are 1 1, we have this, and if they are 2 2, these are this. But we know that A11 is equal to A22 from the matrix P, and A21 equals to A21. So these are same. C113 equal to C2233, or this one C13 equal to C23. No, if Ij is 1 2 or 2 1, they are same. If they are 1 2, on right hand side we have this, and we know that this is 0. You can write this from your matrix B. This is 1 by 2, this is minus 1 by 2, so it will be 0. So C63 or C36 is equal to 0. Now consider the case when we have I3 and J3. I3 and J3. On right hand side we have P, Q, R, S, I3, J3. We have this is one, this is one. After open the summation on Q and S, we have this. Again the similar case we have at when here we have written PR12 or PR11 or 22, so they must be not equal to 0 for non-zero components. You have again this, and your ij could be 1 1 2 2 or 1 2 or 2 1. So we have again C13 equals to this, so C55 equal to C44, and this is the choice C13 2 3. This would again be equal to 0. Now case 4. Now this is the result for case 3, in which these components are equal to 0 or same, in which there are two 3s, 4 3s first case, 3 3s second case, 2 3s third case, 1 3 case number 4. Any index is 1. Suppose ij k3, l is small, l is 3. We have this. Only those terms will survive where p q r is 1 1 or 2 2. Others will be 0. So that if this is 1 1 1 3 or 1 1 2, here would be gamma 1 1 2 3, and this would be 0. You can see from the start of trigonal. So this would be 1 1 3 3 plus this, and you have this after opening case 3. No other index would be equal to 3, so you can take ij 1 1. On right hand side same, you have this, and this is C22 K3, ij is 2 2. You have this, and by the help of above two terms, C11 K3 will be equal to minus times C22 K3. So it would be this. K could be 1 or 2. 1 or 2. It can't be 3. Similarly, you have this, that if j and k is 1 1, j and k is 2 2, then we have this result again. Again I could be 1 or 2. Similarly, we have this result. Now when the 3 does not appear, we have these type of indices in which 3 does not appear. 1 1 2 2, 1 2 1 2, 2 2 1 1, 1 2 1 2 1, 2 1 2 1 1 2, or 1 2 2 1. No 3. This is the transformation law. Now let us start to open the summation on PQRS on right hand side. We have only following options. Yeah, IJKL 1 1, these, and the form of MN you can write 1 1 2 2 6 is 1 2 1 6 2 6, and 4 4 are these. These are for just for revision that 1 1 equals to 4 1 1 in two indices, they are 1 1. Now I have taken any one, suppose C2 to 2. On right hand side you have this. Apply the values of all these A's from your matrix B. You have this on right hand side. Simplify these. This will be this. Similarly, find this C11, it would be equal to this. You need to complete remaining 4. They are this, this and this. Finally we have this type of, some are 0 and some are equal with each other. That is C14 and C24 is equal to C minus times C14. And this is the case. This is the case. C11 1 1, and what is 4? 4 is 1 3. So there is only 1 3. This is the case. There is only 1 3 1. This is the case. There is 1 3. Case number 4, I think, and there is only 1 3. C1 C24 will be equal to C minus C14. Here, let's see. Here you can see that C24 will be equal to minus C14. So from all the above calculations you can write this. Some are 0, some are equal with minus time sometimes, and this is exactly the same. C, what is this? This is C5 5 this is C5 6. So C5 6 will be equal to C14. This is for trigonal. You can see that there would be 7 independent C's. For tetragonal, follow the same procedures. You will have this. For hexagonal, follow the same procedure and you would have this. You have to calculate. Go through this lecture, and I am not going to explain all this in your lecture tomorrow on 12 p.m. You have to listen this carefully. Thank you so much.